Hey, I'm back here in Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, with my friend Cody Chilson, combatcollege.org, Dark Phoenix Combatives. We're just talking about some techniques for travelers on improvised weapons, self-defense, and stuff like that. Empty hand stuff. Just maybe give us, not necessarily a form or anything like that, but just say like a solo female traveling in a foreign country. She's in an alley in a third world country. There's no pens, there's no magazines, there's nothing. She just has a day pack on. And what would you say? I mean, I know the answer to it, but for the benefit of the viewer, maybe talk about vital targets, just something empty hand without an improvised weapon that like a solo female, untrained female could do to get out of that situation as soon as possible.
Okay, so this is where we get into the realm of like self-defense stuff. And so the rules for what constitutes a good self-defense technique, which is basically something anybody can use. A person who's 3 years old can use it, a person who's 103 years old can use it, a person that's 7 feet tall can use it, a person that's 3 feet tall can use it, right? So the things that we're looking for are things like, as a lot of people ask, how should my stance be? What do I do with my hands? They're all confused and stuff, right? The best stance that I've found for people who are untrained or just people who are trained is to have some kind of a boxing structure. And so for you people that don't know, a boxing structure is almost the same as a fetal position, right? So your hands are up. The reason why that's a good idea is because if your hands are already up, anytime you flinch, something's already in the way. If you're taking a long stance like classical karate or taekwondo, you have to have a sense of timing, judgment, and then actually have a move to execute. If my hands are up this way, I can sneeze and still block, right? I have my hands out like this, and what I'm using is my palms as opposed to my fists. So you have to understand that we have a theory called soft to hard and hard to soft. When you look at boxing, they wear big ass gloves, and that's not to protect the other person's face, it's to protect your hands from being broken. And what that means is if I have to worry about my hands being broken, then maybe I should hit differently where they're not broken, because most of us don't run around, I don't run around with 16-ounce gloves on my hands all day long, right? So what you end up doing is rather than punching somebody in the skull, you can do what we call the palm strike, right? You can hit with something that's soft onto something hard, and the energy is absorbed. But if I punch something that's hard against something hard, that hurts, and I'm contending for space, right? So our basic striking patterns can be here, we can be hooking, we can be doing uppercuts, and we're hitting with the palm of the hand here. Targets that are good targets are things that would make you stop and think about your life if it required about 5 pounds of pressure. So if you're saying your ABCs and somebody bumps you on the shoulder that hard, you're not going to stop saying your ABCs. But if you're saying your ABCs and somebody walks by and does this at 5 pounds on your trachea, right here in your throat, you're probably going to stop doing what you were doing. If you do something like that with your fingertip into somebody's eyeball, they're probably going to stop. If you palm somebody this way in the groin, they're probably going to stop. So techniques that work very good are things like eyes, throat, soft spots. And a rule for that is if it feels good light, it feels bad hard. So anywhere you would like to be massaged, hit those kinds of places very hard and they're going to be very devastating.
There are 108 weak points. You've got some on you. I'm certain. You're not made out of stone. I am a stone man.
All right, because the goal should be to get out of the situation. And you don't want to go toe-to-toe with somebody who is 230 pounds, 6'7", when you're 5'7" and 140 pounds. You need something to overcome that physical gap, which is going to be a tactical advantage. It's going to be things like kicking to the shins. Like Bruce Lee would always say, why do people say kicking in the shins is a girl move? Because it works, and they don't want you to do it. Okay, so things that work good like that. Eyes, groin, have your hands up, okay? And a good thing to get in the habit of too is if you're striking somebody and you're in a civilianized atmosphere, you're not, in somewhere with planes overhead dropping bombs, is as you're striking is to scream for help. So if you're in the middle of hitting somebody and you say, get back, get away from me, okay, what happens is everyone around you is going to see that something's going on. They're going to see you in a defensive posture, which is what this looks like. It looks like defensive. What does that look like? I'm going to start a fight. So if I say get back or get away and somebody sees me doing this, it looks like I'm scrapping. If I say get back, get away, and I'm striking and I'm doing this, the posture says stop. It looks defensive. Even though I may be the aggressor, witnesses will testify that I'm defensive if I walk up to somebody and I say get back, stop, and I just start hitting them and they're reading the newspaper because my body posture looks defensive because I'm screaming get away from me, right? So striking in areas that are soft targets, using the appropriate parts of the hands, the palm strike. I'm going to be hitting something hard with that. If I want to hit something soft like the eyeball, I can finger jab. With the fingers, you want to do this, not this, right? That'll break your fingers. If you can hear that, that's a good thing. Knuckles, if you make a good punch, that's a good thing to hit soft. Eyeballs, throat, groin, okay? Just enough to stop the person to get away, all right?
Great. Thanks, Cody. Thanks for showing us these techniques. I hope that all the travelers out there stay safe. You never have to use any of these techniques ever. Hope you get to see beautiful, amazing parts of the world. But I hope that also, if you ever find yourself in a situation, you're able to deploy some of these techniques, use some improvised weapons, hit some of those vital targets like we talked about today. And as we said in the beginning, this is absolutely last resort, all of this stuff. If you can get out of there, get the fuck out of there. And, stay safe. Happy trails. I want to thank Cody again. If you want any more information about Cody or some other techniques, some more instruction, his site, combatcollege.org, offers a world-class martial arts education for free. A lot of videos on there. Go ahead and give us everything else you got, Cody.
So I do also Filipino combat systems, so you can check out fcskali.com. And then my own personal synthesis is called Dark Phoenix Combatives, and so you can look us up on Facebook.
So there you go, combatcollege.org, Dark Phoenix Combatives on Facebook. Combat College, I believe, is also on Facebook.
Yes.
And I'm going to throw all the links to everything in the description of this video. Hook up with Cody. He's got a lot of valuable information, a lot of great YouTube videos on his channel. I'm going to link you to that too. And if you want to get further in depth with it, he's giving stuff away free. He also does seminars around the world. If you find out that Cody Chilson is doing a seminar in your country, definitely I recommend taking it. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's trained with some living masters of their arts, Dan Inosanto, Ray Dinaldo, and a bunch of other guys that I don't even know. So definitely recommend training with Cody if you get a chance. But if not, free stuff online, so definitely check it out. Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Infamous.